Reef Pros here. We have some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the good news. It's finally happening! I got fish!
Oh baby, it's true. I finally got my clownfish that I've been looking for. Well, not exactly, but I got clownfish finally. Whoa! And then I also got a couple little guys extra. A nice tiny little conch, this guy's the best, and two little bumblebee snails. I can't figure out why they're called bumblebee snails though, they don't look anything like it. They don't have wings or honey. They're going to be a great addition to the cleanup crew. They'll help really stir up the sand bed when they dig around, and they'll just munch on all sort of things. And here we are, finally clownfish. My tank has only had inverts and coral, but now we're finally kicking it up with some more life. I have two little clownfish here. One of them was a ice something, and the other is a phantom. Wanted to get two closely related ones. Initially my plan was to get a black frostbite one, but you can't find those anywhere. So I got the phantom. It looks pretty cool. He's still young and nice and small. So you guys know the drill. We got to get them drip acclimating before you can add them in. We're going to be doing this to both the snails and conch as well as the two little fishies here. Because you want to let them have a gentle transition into the tank. Get them used to my salinity and my water parameters. I also tried to give them some food while they were drip acclimating. They weren't too interested in it. They just kind of kept swimming around. But it was fine. They're probably real stressed from getting taken out of their home at the fish store and brought home with me. But we'll give them some time. I'll just keep removing some water as I keep dripping and get them ready to go in the tank. I'm just going to go ahead and give the tank a quick swipey wipey here, just to get the algae that's been growing on the glass off, get a nice clean, clear view into the tank. And now it's time to cannonball in those snails in the conch. Just boom, boom, the tiny little snails falling right in. He did a little bit of acrobatics to flip back over, but he was fine. Same with the bumblebees. They just kind of rolled around a tiny bit and then they were good, digging into the sand, having a grand old time. The conch is the best. Look at that. He has two little weird eyes that just sticks out, and when he's not even fully dug in there, I don't know what he's doing. He's just half chilling in the sand, half playing lookout everywhere. And then eventually he climbs around the tank. Sometimes he'll go up on the rocks and you see him. Look at this. Like I don't even know what to call it. He has his trunk like way out there because he's too lazy to move. Just eating around everywhere. Nom 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 nom. Fun fact about conches, they're actually more developed than most of the other snails. That's why often you'll see them react or duck and hide when you come walk over to the tank if they see you. Is it just me, or do the bumblebee snails kind of remind you of roly-polies? I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just like underwater versions of them. They just wander around with their stripes and their little like snorkel. And now, the big moment. It's time to add the fish in. The clownfish number 1 and clownfish number 2. Just slowly adding them in. I picked them up with my hand. I had a glove on because I didn't want to touch them directly with my skin, and can give them a nice easy transition. This way I didn't have to stress them out using like a net and possibly rip them or catch any fins. It made a nice smooth transition of them into the tank, and they just start swimming around exploring. They both went right up to the front of the tank, which was really cool because then I got to see a really good view of them. They weren't hiding at all. They were just kind of sitting there chilling, scoping around, looking at their new home. Everything started really well, but the white one, he was being, let's just say a not nice word. So I talked to the fish store. They let me go and swap him out because I was really worried about any troubles that he might cause, and got just a second phantom. They look real nice together because they look exactly the same. There's some slight variations in their fins, and as these guys grow up, they're going to actually turn to be jet black. They're not going to have any more of that brown, or at least they're not supposed to. And then they'll just be jet black with the white stripes. It'll look really cool, especially since the lines aren't like straight. They're very jagged and narrow, and they'll look like a phantom. I still haven't picked out a name for these guys. They're so cute and so small, so I gotta think of something good. If you guys have suggestions, be sure to let us know. The phantom clownfish was actually bred through crossbreeding a bunch of various things, like snowflake, black ice, black Darwin clownfish, just a mix of them to get those final traits of having those cool jagged lines and turning into that jet black look. They named it the phantom fish because the fish looks like it evades reality and dwells somewhere in like the edge of fantasy and imagination. I don't know if I fully agree with that naming choice, but the phantom, it just sounds pretty cool, especially when it turns jet black. But now let's change gears for a little bit. Let's check up on the coral. As promised, I finally moved my toadstool leather. I had it up on the frag rack like forever after it didn't do well in its original spot. So I put it way back to the original spot, and look at that. It opened up, it's been liking it so far and really doing well. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's some bad news. You guys, I'm sure you remember that lovely hologram hammer that I had. It opened up, it was looking real nice. And not to mention the green stem dunking coral, that it was looking a little weird, but it was good. It just had that little spot on the corner there. There was a little flippy floppy. Well, it turns out they did not do well. So the hologram hammer, it all of a sudden just started receding a lot and just started dying off, and now I'm just left with a whole skeleton. It's nothing, just a pit of sadness there. And the Duncan had some smaller heads on it at least, so those are starting to hold up very slightly. So I'm hoping that one's not down for the count and it's only the hologram hammer, which I'm still just devastated by because it just got wrecked, like it's just hollow. I wonder if it had something to do with how it had this little like carving dent in it. Same with the Duncan, where it was flip-flopping. It looked like it almost got like maybe like cut up a little bit in chipping or something and just wasn't able to heal. Or it could have been my tank, my flow, my light. I'm really not sure. The mystery is driving me crazy because why would it open it up and look nice? But like I said, we got some polyps still on the Duncan, so fingers crossed at least one of them will stay alive. Still too soon to say if Top Shelf Aquatics is worth it for that high price of coral. Now that the hammer's dead, I'd very 50-50 on it, but we're slowly making progress in the tank. It's still just great having that extra life of the clownfish swimming around in there. It's really making it pop, and I can't wait for them to grow up and get a little larger as they eat and a little more comfortable with the tank.
Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I need money for fish.